Good morning, comic book fans. It's Rusty again with Collector Auctions, and here I sit getting ready to go into Third Eye Comics in Annapolis, Maryland for another New Comic Book Day. Now, just a reminder, you guys, I don't use New Comic Book Day as on this channel. I don't promote it and try to be timely about putting these episodes out so you guys can have that information for New Comic Book Day. These are pretty much comic book hauls. What I use New Comic Book Day for is to catch the books that I failed to pre-order with my subscription service through M&M Comics. Now, I do these pre-orders 3 months in advance, so I miss books all the time. There's so many new books to go through that I even miss some of the books I normally get. So I use New Comic Book Day to come in and basically fill in the blanks, get the books that I failed to order, and sometimes speculate. Like today, for example, the new Black Panther, the new Ultimate Black Panther is coming out. Now, I know I have at least one copy of Cover A pre-ordered, but I want to go ahead and pick up a couple extra copies, and I really hope that they have that new Boss Logic cover of Storm on the cover for Ultimate Black Panther. I would really like to get that. In addition, there are a couple other books I would like to pick up as well that I definitely know that I didn't pre-order. So I'm going to go in. I'll do a little bit of footage. I won't do a lot of footage of the store. I'll probably just focus on the new comic books mostly. And then we'll come back. I'll sit down and I'll show you the books that I pick up. So stay tuned and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I made it back home and I bagged and boarded all the new comics that I picked up at Third Eye Comics on this particular New Comic Book Day. Now this video today, these comics, this is the week that the new Ultimate Black Panther was coming out. And there was a lot of heat on that book, mostly because of the heat that came from Ultimate Spider-Man. There's definitely going to be some of that residual feelings, and I don't know if the numbers on it weren't ordered quite as much as Ultimate Spider-Man. I don't know, but I will tell you this, that when I left Third Eye Comics, and I do have some copies here, I'll go over them. I stopped at another LCS, and they did not order, as far as I could tell, or at least they didn't have them out. They didn't have any of the Ultimate, I was going to say Spider-Man, or the Ultimate Black Panthers out. And I'm looking all around, and none to be seen. Now, this was a much smaller LCS. Unfortunately, it's the one that's really close to my house. In fact, I could even walk to it, but I never go there because they don't get enough to really, they don't order enough to then get variants that you may want as well. That's why I go to Third Eye. They buy so much, and then you can get the variants and some of these ratios, a lot of different ratios. They buy a lot of comics. So, but I stopped there, and they didn't even have a single Ultimate Black Panther out on the stand. So I just left. I didn't get anything at that one. But let's go over the comics. And again, what do I use New Comic Book Day for? It is to buy books that I failed to pre-order on my subscription service with M&M Comics 3 months in advance. And a lot of times I get caught. I've fallen out of favor with a book. It's not doing it for me, and I'll drop it. Like I have dropped just about every X-Men title has gotten dropped. And then after this last month, I had dropped Batman. And what I got caught with was not really paying attention to the titles. Like, I'm just not getting back into it. I didn't do my research, and what I didn't see coming was the Joker Year One. So when it came out this week, I went ahead and picked up a copy of Batman. What is this? 142 with the Joker Year One right here. I don't know if this is going to become a thing. I literally just watched a video on Thinking Critical talking about this issue and how Chip Zdarsky is trying to connect the three Jokers with Batman Year One, with the Killing Joke, and it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Part of the intrigue about the Joker is the mystery about who he is and origins and things like this. And this kind of stuff in the video, basically, they were saying they were not fans of it. I'll just put it that way. But I went ahead and picked up a copy of this just in case there's some heat on this going down the road. The other big book besides the Black Panther, as far as I was concerned, was the new Thundercats coming out. And they had so many different covers. You saw some of the footage in the montage of all of the different covers. Well, I'm not getting into that. I'm not worrying about foils. I went ahead and picked up the cover A by David Nakayama, who I'm a big fan of. This type of art, I mean, I like his Marvel characters more than anything, but these were really good covers. So I picked up 2 copies of issue number 1 of Thundercats. This is a book from Image that I started seeing some heat on just in the last few weeks, so I didn't even think about it when it came out, when it was pre-ordered, time to pre-order, and it was the One Hand. Who is doing this? Is this... Actually, I have no idea who these people are, but they had multiple variant covers and stuff. I just picked up the regular cover A. I don't know much about this, but again, I had been hearing a little bit of buzz on some of the other YouTube channels about this, so I went ahead and picked that up. Let's turn this so we don't get glare. Yeah. Ooh, I'm tilted. I need to tilt this way. That would be better. I'll fix that in the next episode. All right. Sometimes on New Comic Book Day, because I don't pre-order certain books, they're not even on the radar. And one of those was Birds of Prey. I don't read that. Maybe some of the old stuff I've read, but I didn't collect it. I didn't read a lot of it. But I did have to get this cover. This was a smoking hot cover right here. Who did the art on this? Who is that? Cover by Pablo. Forget it. Guys, I'm not going to butcher that name either. But it looks actually very much like an Adam Hughes artwork, but it's not. But that's like I said, smoking hot cover right there. Now, here's a book that I haven't really pre-ordered. I just pick it up at my LCS because they do usually have different covers. And surprisingly, I've been enjoying this. The art has been fantastic, and the writing's been pretty good. Now, I think it could be better. But the ongoing Conan the Barbarian from Titan Comics by... Who's doing this? This is Jim Zub. Jim Zub, is that right? I believe that's right. Is writing this. Now, the original artist from the first few issues is not doing this one, but the art still looks really good in this one. Now, this was a variant cover that I picked up. I didn't think they had cover A. This is a Jessica Fong cover. I thought that was actually kind of nice, so I picked up that cover. But this is a book that I've actually been enjoying reading, is the ongoing Conan the Barbarian series. If you guys haven't had a chance to read this, do yourself a favor. Go to your LCS. They should have plenty of back issues on this. Pick it up. The Conan the Barbarian series has been really good. All right, let's set this small stack down. And what's funny on these New Comic Book Days, I tell myself that, okay, there's 2, maybe 3 books that you're missing. Don't go nuts. Don't go overspend and everything. And all of a sudden, I got 8 books. And with the cover prices, now I do get a small discount because I have a subscription box with Third Eye, and I'm a club member. I think there's an additional discount. I don't know. But what I do is kind of definitely, I go around and I start finding stuff that I should have picked up maybe in the prior week or a week before that. And all of a sudden that stack gets a little too tall and you end up spending too much money. But let me show you what I got. You were waiting for this. I did pick up 2 cover A's of the Black Panther #1. You saw in the footage a ton of variants. But to be honest with you, none of those variants did anything for me. So going with cover A was a no-brainer. Trust me, if I'd been there for the Ultimate Spider-Man, which I wasn't, I was not there for New Comic Book Day when that came out, and they had all these different variants. They had the black suit and the Spider-Man 2099 and those covers, and they had the J. Scott Campbell covers and the Family Album cover. I probably would have picked up one or two of everything. It would have been a giant stack. So, but I missed out on all that. Those were all great covers. Every one of those. The art was fantastic. But for these covers for the Black Panther, honestly, none of them did anything for me. The cover A here is, my opinion, the best. And so that's what I went with. So that was the big book right there for this week. Now, doesn't stop me, as I just said. I go back around and I go looking through the stands to see if I've missed anything. And here's something I did miss. And it's because as I said, I dropped the X-Men. And I picked up the trade dress version of this. Again, this is just cover price plus my discount. This is, which one is this? Fall of the House of X, #1. It is that Art Germ Magic cover right there, and that is smoking hot. I just went to a comic book show where they had the version of this on the stands, and it's one of those, I was tempted. This right here, I was tempted to buy that version for a future Art Germ signing. In fact, I think they may be having another one at CGC right now. But I probably won't send this in, but if I had bought that version, I probably would have sent it in to get that graded and signed and graded. But big fan of a lot of Art Germ covers, and this Magic cover is absolutely fantastic. So anyway, that's it, guys. That is actually a pretty short New Comic Book Day video for me. The last one I did was really big because I ended up picking up a bunch of stuff, including, if you saw that, I did go back and I did find some of those variant covers to Ultimate Spider-Man #1 that they had put back out on the stand. I swear, I think what they do is they hold a bunch of copies back and then they work them back into the back issues that are still on the recent comic books, still on the stands. And sometimes you can find some gems in there, and that's what I did. I found copies of the Family Album cover, and the J. Scott Campbell cover. I picked up multiples on both of those. So sometimes you can still go through some of the old stuff, and they will weed some gems back in there, and that's what, I don't know if this was like that or not, but I did find that on the stand. So that was the one kind of back issue, if you want to call it that I found on the stands. But that's it for today, guys. Thank you for joining me. If you liked today's video, definitely hit the like button, slap the subscribe, and click on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the episodes that I put out each and every week, Mondays and Fridays at 10 a.m. And I'd love to hear back from you guys. What do you think about the books I picked up? Have you read the new Black Panther story at this point? Have you read the Spider-Man? I'll be honest, I haven't read the Black Panther yet, and I've skimmed the Spider-Man one. The Spider-Man one looks real interesting, whereas the Black Panther I'm not sure if I really am into it quite yet. So we'll see. I'll give them both a better chance, but I'd love to hear what your guys' feedback is on both of those. Anyway, I'm out of here, guys. You guys have a great day, and remember, every comic has a story.